Made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. What's goody, man? What's up? What's going on? It's Sunday and the boy is here. I was not going to miss We Talking Boxing tonight. I don't care what kind of boxing weekend that we had. The fact of the matter is it's Sunday night. That means it's my time. It's my time. Let me just make sure the audio is good and we're going to get it in. You know what I'm saying? I bet that we sounding good, man. Real talk, man. It is always a pleasure to be on here with the boxing fam on Sundays to do We Talking Boxing as well as Wednesdays, man. You know, to get up on here and talk some good old boxing this Sunday. I know we about to start the work week. So shout out to everybody out there that's ironing them uniforms, that's getting your gear ready for tomorrow morning to go to work, that's cooking your breakfast on the nighttime so you ain't got to cook it in the morning on the way out. Those of y'all at the gas stations putting gas in your car because you don't want to do that shit when you go out in the morning. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, we got their work week to start, man. I know y'all got to see that supervisor you don't want to see. You got to see that coworker that you don't want to see. But before we get all the way into that, man, I'm hopefully to take y'all mind off things for a little bit and talk some good boxing. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. So look, man, before we get this underway, I want to do something. And I really mean this, man. I want to give a special shout out. I repeat, a special shout out to the homie Black Fight Fan TV for sliding through and having that wonderful debate with me on the last one, man. Clearly, man, that debate has sent shockwaves around the boxing community. Man, I hear a lot of people talking about it, man. Real talk. Hey, I appreciate you for finding me, Rob Rook Davies. Welcome to the family. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I want to mention, man. See, I hope a lot of people out there, I hope y'all learn one thing about that from that debate. And that is the fact that you can be involved in the sport of boxing passionately. You know, you can have your positions and you can do it and you can disagree, but you still can come together and be respectful to one another and say your positions crystal clearly, man. That thing there, man, that was a hell of a debate. And I got to, take nothing but my head off and say respect. I repeat, respect to everybody in the LDBC, because I'm going to say you, man, Black Fight Fan, if you hear this, and I hope you do, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on this channel and having that debate with me, man, because I'm telling you, man, that's an example of how two people from opposite ends of a position can come together and have a debate, man, passionately, man, and do it the right way. I can honestly sit back and say for all the time I've been doing boxing here on YouTube, there has never been another video, I don't think, that I've signed as many subscribers up. I've literally, man, off that one particular video, probably brought in about 200 to 250 new family members. You know what I'm saying? And that's real talk. And I credit that honestly all day to Black Fight Fan TV and his presence being known and felt on here, man. Shout out to the LDBC. Much respect, much love to each and every one of y'all. Keep doing your thing. I see the movement. Keep on shining. You know what I'm saying? Keep on shining. Real shit. Now, moving right along. You know what I'm saying? Brown Brothers Boxing. What's up with you? You know what I'm saying? G Cinco, what's up, homie? What's going on, man? You say I destroyed by Fight Fan TV, man. Black, hey, I don't know about that. I'm gonna let y'all make that decisions, and I'm not gonna comment on that. Orlando Finney in the building. What's up, family? What's up with you, homie? It's Sunday night, man. So we got some boxing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got some boxing to talk about, and clearly this weekend wasn't a lot of smoking, good fights on this particular weekend, man. But we're going to talk about it from anybody else who want to hear, man. And the first fight that I want to talk about is Robert Easter Jr. versus Francis Bartholomew, man. What the hell was that? What the hell was that, man? Yo, man, a split draw. Robert Easter Jr. fighting to a split draw with Francis Bartholomew, man, in a freaking snooze fest. A snooze fest, homie. You know what I'm saying? Brown on boxing, salute, bro. LDBC is the boxing talk kings. Hey, let them do their thing. Shout out to the LDBC. Much love to them, bro. Much love to them, each and every one. Much love to my homie OG who been riding with me also for a long time. Blood Boxing. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? All day. You know what I mean? Macadon one. What it do, homie? What it do? But yo, man, Robert Easter Jr. versus Francis Bartholomew, man. What was that, man? That was the most boringest fight. Neither one of these dudes landed over 10 punches in a round. I have never seen that ever. Like, that was crazy. This fight was for a vacant WBA title. A vacant WBA title. Man, you would think that these dudes would have brought everything into this fight. But I was like, what the hell was that, man? The punch stat numbers. Robert Easter Jr. landed 54 of 415 punches. That's 13%. 13%. Francis Bartholomew landed 52 of 328 punches. That's 16%. Like, what the hell was that, bruh? And the first thing that took the mind of me is, okay, what the hell is going on? What went wrong here? But then when you take a deeper look, you see that both of these men were literally in the process of changing trainers. You had Robert Easter Jr. leaving Kevin Cunningham and going on over back to his daddy. And then, of course, you had Francis Bartholomew coming on board with Joel Casamayor, former boxer, former champion, former Olympian. Main man, salute, Don Dada. Salute. Rocket Strikes 89 in the building. What's up, Slim? Good weekend, halfway decent boxing, halfway. Real boxing. Black fight fan is not fair. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, homie. Rella Mikada, that fight was ass juice. Rocket Strikes 89 says hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, we're not going to do that, fam. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that disrespect. At the end of the day, though, man, this particular fight, you know what I'm saying? Slim, it snoozed me to death, bro. And I was real shocked. See, it seems to me that Robert Easter Jr. was trying to listen to what fans has been trying to tell him for a long time, and that's fight tall. Don't fight short. Don't let this dude get up on you. Fight at a distance, which he did do in this fight. The only problem was he was fighting. He was so worried about distance where he didn't do anything else. He just kept flicking that jab out there, looking for the counter punch. But it's almost as if it wasn't too natural to him. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't letting his hands go nearly as much as we usually see. So, you know, Robert Easter Jr. is just like everybody tells him to fight tall, fight tall, fight tall. Well, in this fight, he attempted to fight tall, but just not nearly as fluid doing it. You know what I mean? And that could be something attributed, like I say, going back to his daddy, going back to his hometown in Toledo and training there and getting back to the basics. Maybe he got so far away from the basics that getting back to him was tough for him. That's the only reason I could think of, Holmes. That's the only thing I could think of. Alvarez Jacob next. Can't wait all day. All day. All day. But as in Francis Bartholomew's case, man, what the hell was he? Thought he was fighting like he wasn't even fighting. It's like he was going from southpaw to orthodox, southpaw to orthodox. He was just corky looking in that joint. His arms looked short. It's like every time he kept flicking his jab out there, the arms look short. I don't know, man. Macadon One says he should have fought in his old style, in my opinion. That may would have worked out a little better for him, That may would have worked out a little better for him to actually get into this fight and bring some noise to Francis Bartholomew. Now, Francis Bartholomew says that that's what we was expecting. We was expecting for Robert Easter Jr. to be the typical Robert Easter Jr. But he ain't get that in this fight. He got a cautious, trying to fight from distance, Robert Easter Jr., and clearly he wasn't even prepared for that. This shit was boring. It was awful. And the sad part is that Robert Easter Jr. was in the main event fight for this fight. This could be one of his last main events right here, son. Because what lies in the future for him? A lot of people saying he need to lead 35 and go up to 140, which we thought he was going to do after he took that L to Mikey Garcia. But he go to 140, Slim. It's no man's land up there for Robert Easter Jr., in my opinion. Regis, Josh, Mikey, Ramirez. Slim, it ain't no joke up at 140. And you want to put Easter in the mix when clearly even his last 3 fights, the Fortuna fight, wasn't a lot of separation there. The Sabransky fight wasn't a lot of separation there. And now in this particular fight, not a lot of separation. Hard call to make. I mean, to show the levels of this fight, right? You look at the fight that Regis, and we will get to Regis, but that Regis Prograis did, right? He beat Carl Relicky. And Carl Relicky destroyed Francis Bartholomew. So it's like, Slim, that shows you the difference of levels right there. If you ain't seen it, man, I'm just like, man, I wish Robert Easter Jr. would have pulled this out with much more separation, man. He even looking at the look on his face, he knew what was at stake here. He had an opportunity for a vacant secondary title and the WBA regular title. On top of that, he was the main event. And now people going to remember this performance as a snooze fest. And he didn't really close the show properly with this dude, it's not gonna help him going forward, man. And that's unfortunate because Robert Easter Jr. seemed like he a cool dude. Saying like he a cool dude. He hang out with a couple clowns, but he's still a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? Humble cat. You like him if you listen to him talk. But damn, son, you should have brought the noise in this fight, son. You should have brought the noise. You know what I mean? Easter need to use that right hand. He did. Yeah, you're right, Don Dada. He should have used that right hand and much more frequently in that fight. Seemed like the only time he was really wanting to pull that trigger is if he can come in with a counter shot. And Rancis was doing some funny style dancing or whatever he was doing on the outside where he wasn't taking too many risks. He started lunging towards the middle of the fight, but it was like red in between. It was sloppy. It was awful. It was terrible. So I don't know where Robert Easter Jr. goes at this point, Joe. I don't know where he goes. At 35, I still think he struggles with a lot of them cats. The Comeys, Teofimos of the world. Don't even mention Lomachenko. Like Slim, this man got it. I don't know where he goes, man. And I wish nothing but the best for Robert Easter Jr. Like I say, he seemed like he a cool cat. But Slim, you got to cause more separation in your fights. And you cannot allow chances like this to fall through with people going to walk away with the impression that you put on a snooze fest, man. You know what I mean? Nobody landed more than 10 in any round. That's sad, bro. That's sad. That's sad, man. Alex Cartier in the building. Good to hear from you, man. Always keeping it 100 all day. All day. Man, what's up with Easter at 140? I'm not sure. Jose Rocker. I'm not sure either, bro. I don't see where he can survive up at 140, man. I just don't see it, man. It's too much going on up there. It's way too much smoke. And that smoke is real up at 140, man. And now with the addition of Mikey Garcia, which he's already lost to, man, my man is right now. He got a lot of thinking to do. A lot of thinking. Maybe they do a rematch here, but ain't nobody going to be calling for it. Ain't no network going to be wanting to put this on, especially in no main event. This was a snooze fest, a bad combination of styles. And this ain't going to serve Robert Easter Jr. good in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Unfortunately. All right, next fight, man. Nonito Donaire, man. Nonito Donaire beat Stephen Young. He destroyed Stephen Young. Stephen Young being a last-minute step in for the fight. A fight that basically, when we heard that, you know, he wasn't going to be facing Zolani Tete, we just kind of like started looking beyond this. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a good fight because I got my issues with Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire is being accused by, I've heard some people say this. Is this dude shrinking his down to fight smaller dudes? I mean, we clearly know Nonito Donaire to be fighting from 122 and 126. Now he's down at bantamweight. He looked good. He looked sharp and he looked complete. He's making the weight. But at the end of the day, Slim, he's a big fighter. Now, you know, he's a champion down at that weight class. But the only reason he's a champion is on a semi-technicality about the fact that the guy he beat, Ryan Burnett, when he beat him for that WBA title, he beat him because he torn his obliques. So he kind of, you know, that happened in the fourth round. Ryan Burnett quit. And so Nonito Donaire got the belt. Now, in this particular case, we thought he was going to be tested with Zolani Tete. Unfortunately, Tete got injured leading up to this fight, hurt his right shoulder. And that would have been a unification fight. And unfortunately, it didn't go down that way. You know what I'm saying? So now that the Nonito Donaire has won in this fight against, what was this guy named Stephen Young? Now he's beaten him. He's now going to sit back and wait to be advanced to the finals to take on Emmanuel Rodriguez or Inoue Inoue's winner. And that's going to be for an IBF title, which is going to be a huge fight. You have a Filipino versus Japanese fighter. That's going to be a huge fight. Sir Jacob says Inoue wins the tourney. You think Inoue going to pull it out? Inoue is on a lot of people pound for pound list. A lot of people's pound for pound list. Nonito Donaire can use this to definitely revitalize his career. Talk about maybe a Hall of Fame story, possibly. To come back off the loss against Carl Frampton, to come off the losses, all them losses he took back in the day, Nicholas Walters, Guillermo Regan Dial, you know what I mean? And then to come back, become a world champion, win this tournament, that'd be huge, son. And to be a pound for pound fighter, hey, that'd be big for him. That'd be big for him, I will admit. But I'm telling you, I think Inoue pulls it out too, son. That's just my early prediction. I think that's my early prediction. I think Inoue pulls it out. But we'll see how this thing works out for him. Man, he looked good against this last minute step in cat. He did what he was supposed to do. And I don't got nothing bad to say about him other than the fact that I don't know. He might be shrinking himself down fighting these little dudes, man. I'm just saying, though. I mean, you come down two weight classes, and it's rarely done by today's box. But at those little weights, I guess it's much more possible, much more easy to do. But shit, two weight classes? Damn, bro. You know what I mean? But we'll see, man. So he'll sit back and waiting to go to the finals, and we'll see how that work out for him. Harold Trim in the building. What's up, man? What's up with you? Harold Trim says, man, the UK fighters are taking major L's. Hey, you see that cat Daniel Du Bois for over the weekend looking like a Mike Tyson punch-out character. You see your man slept with the red beard? Hey, shawty, that's some wild shit. Like, your man in this thing looking like a Tyson punch-out character or something, man. The Du Bois. You know what I mean? Little Mac versus the Du Bois. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, oh no, man. So Jacob says, was Tete really injured? I don't know. Well, that's what they were saying. I mean, according to Nonito Donair's wife, who's his manager, she was saying that they heard inklings about this earlier on. They just overlooked it. They thought some sort of mind games were being played. But then when it got down to brass tacks, they seen it was real. So we got to accept it for what it is. We got to accept it for what it is. So that's the way how that went down, man. I wish y'all would have seen the Tete fight, man. That would have been a hell of a good fight. And a unification because Tete got the WBO. Nonito Donair got the WBA. So that would have been two titles right there. Bam. The winner go after that IBF winner. Then you're talking 3 titles in one fight for the finals. That would have been huge. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, it ain't fall out that way, man. All right. Is anything I'm missing? Before we get to the big issue at hand, and that's Regis. Before we get there, let me see if anything else. Oh, we had the Mummy fight over the weekend. Victor Postal got rid of that dude, Makamud, or whatever he was. Easy work. It was kind of one-sided, easy work. Victor Postal jabbed his way to a victory. And see, that's another example. Even though he fights like a mummy, Robert Easter Jr. can look at that and see that's the example of a dude that's used to fighting that distance. And he's comfortable fighting at distance. Ugly is the style that we may say it is, but he's comfortable at fighting at distance. That's something that Robert Easter Jr. got to get comfortable with. He could take a couple notes away from Victor the Mummy, the Postal. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I think that's it pretty much off the anybody else I'm missing, y'all can bring it up. But I want to get to the bread and butter of this video. And that's my main man, Rougarou, all day. Rougarou looking like a straight up phenom in that thing this weekend, son. A phenom. Getting the work done over Kyle Relicky. Easy work. It was a beautiful performance. Regis is damn near looking pound for pound. He damn near there, man. All he needs is a couple good wins, and that's very possible. The thing I respect about Regis is that he got no borders. He will fight wherever you want him to fight, whether it be ESPN, whether it be The Zone, whether it be Fox, whether it be whoever, wherever. Man, Regis turning down no smoke. Hey, this dude looking like the goods, son. I don't care what nobody say. Tenderoni says, I know you're talking fights that happened yesterday, but I'm anxious to hear your take on Spence versus Porter being official. We can get to that. We could definitely get to that, Tenderoni. Just let me rap about Regis real quick. Hey, the deal is this, though. Slim, Regis is looking like that dude. Now, you see the title of the video. Will Regis Prograis run the tables at 140? Clearly, he now got his hands on the WBA title. He's still currently the WBC interim champion, in which there is a promise that was made between his promoter and, of course, the promoter of Jose Ramirez that when the WBC ordered that fight, last year, I believe it was, they promised to put it on hold for right now. And when all the smoke clear, they're going to come back to the table. So clearly the WBC is within reach for Regis Prograis. Now, of course, he's sitting back waiting to progress to the finals of the World Boxing Super Series, where he's going to take on the win of Josh Taylor versus Ivan Baranchyk, where you got the IBF title involved there. So now, Rougarou, who got WBA, possibly wins if he can beat the winner of that fight, gets the IBF, pivots to the WBC and say, all right, let's go to Ramirez. Let me get that up off you. Then there's one left, and that's my main man, Maurice Hooker, where he fights on the zone, where you see Rougarou fighting that 2-day, so he clearly can make that fight. And then what? Who's the final level? Will it be Mikey or will Mikey get in the mix? Does Mikey want that smoke? Because word on the curb is that Mikey ain't going back down to 135. Word on the curb is that Mikey coming back to 140. Pound for pound number 9 if he gets past Taylor. Hey, Slim, if he wins these belts, we might got to even take him up a bit higher than that. I'm going to tell you right now, man, Josh Taylor is nothing but the goods. That's my main man all day. Very, very tremendously skilled fighter. I'm expecting him to beat Burnchie. But I've already said from day one, I've been saying it from day one. I believe the finals of the 140 Super Series tournament will be Regis versus Taylor. I'm pretty sure everybody in this chat would agree that we all thought that at the end of the day, when it was all done, it would be Regis versus Josh Taylor. I'm pretty sure this is a no-brainer for most of us out here. So my deal is, man, hey, Regis got an opportunity of a life. If he can sweep all these cats out the way and then steps to Mikey and say, if Mikey, what's goody? Slim, you're talking about a huge fight. Now, that's later on down the line. I don't know if Mikey want to get involved in the meantime, between time. But Slim, Regis has he looks super stellar. He looked like a straight up Don in that fight, Slim. The speed, the angles, the footwork, the defense has gotten much better. The power, dropping this cat in the first round, got the blood oozing up out the bridge of his nose. Slim looking like he's something out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. You hear me? Man, that shit was vicious. Hey, the speed, which clearly Relicky could not deal with that speed. Relicky ain't never seen hand speed like that. The jab was working. The left hand was polished. The body work was beautiful. Slim, this dude is looking like a straight up pound for pound top rated fighter. And all he needs to do is to get Josh Taylor out the way, which not going to be easy. We're going to be sitting back and looking at this performance from Josh. And Josh better put that work in and make it look good. Because Cal Relicky is not no like pushover, dog. Like I just tried to tell y'all earlier, this dude beat Rancis Bartholomew, who we just seen Robert Easter Jr. fight to a draw with, amongst other wins. I'm not going to sit back and act like Cal Relicky is some super bum. No, he ain't. It's just that Rougarou made this dude look like a bum. Made this dude look ordinary. And that's what special fighters do, son. You hear me? Real shit. Hudamonis Media says Rougarou did good, but this talent stops at Crawford. His talent stops at Crawford. Well, we'll see if he get there, man. I mean, but Crawford up at 4'7", man. My deal is, can Rougarou run it at 140? You telling me he can't? Shit. I don't know, son. Nobody beating Regis at 140. Josh Taylor got the best chance. Josh got a good chance. I don't see, bruh. The only people that I can see really giving him, if he gets past Josh, and that's going to be that's a hell of a fight. Right now, I got it roughly about 55, 45 in favor of Regis. I had it 50-50, but looking at these last couple performances after the Postal fight, after this fight, man, I got it about 55-45 in favor of Regis. But Slim, if he gets Josh out the way, then go after Ramirez, gets him out the way, man, I'm sorry, y'all. Mikey got to do something. Mikey got to get in the mix, and Mikey going to have his hands full. I think Mikey might just be the final level, though. Harold Trim says, man, Regis is Spence 2.0, especially with that body work. That body work is beautiful. Beautiful southpaw fighting style. Not to mention the head movement. Every time Cal tried to swing and throw some big shots towards that man, he was ducking him, missing him by inches. Inches, man. This dude, he was fighting in his backyard, so clearly he had that extra motivation. But I'm going to tell you, man, Rougarou's timing and his reflexes is sharp. It's sharp. Them body shots, man, was thudding on this dude, Joe. So I'm telling y'all right now, man. Hey, if Regis gets past Josh, man, I think he give Mikey a run for his money, bro. Mikey got the timing. Mikey, yeah. I think he give Mikey a run for his money, son. I'm dying to see what he looks like against Josh, but like I say, if he eliminates Josh, and right now I believe he has the speed advantage over Josh. I think he has the slight speed advantage over Josh. And if he go in there, and clearly you hear what Rougarou's saying, man, I'm going in there to fight this dude because everybody telling me that they think that this dude can beat me. We talking about a unification match in the finals of major proportions. The winner of this tournament leaves with 2 belts. 2 belts. Step in, man. This is gonna be good. This is why we need tournaments like this in every weight class if we can get it. Every weight class. So the question I leave with y'all, man, can Regis Prograis run the tables? Do y'all believe he can run these tables in his weight class? I don't know, son. I don't know, man. This is gonna be close. Hold the horses, man. I like Regis too, but we got to see Slim in elite fights before we start putting batteries and cuz back. Man, you don't think last night was a pretty much elite fight? Kyle Relicky ain't no bum, Mo. It was a WBA champion. It ain't like he was a bum, man. He made this dude look ordinary. Kyle Relicky ain't no bum, man. I mean, Kyle Relicky can fight. It's just that this dude couldn't land a glove. Barely land a glove on this dude except after the bell. I forgot which round was that, and he stunned Regis Prograis ass after the bell. Remember that? Man, Regis' legs got a little wobbly, man. It was a late hit. It was after the bell, and it was over. But Slim, he landed a good ass punch on Regis, man. Regis went wobble. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But right now, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Kyle Relicky is a bum. I mean, he's fought typically the same level of opposition that Josh Taylor has. Josh's best win to date is Victor Postal. Victor Postal's already took L's, just that, and the third, former champion. Well, guess what? Kyle Relicky was a current champion. So I'm not going to sit back and act like this cat was just anybody. It's just that this dude Regis made him look like anybody. I don't know, son. So in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think that Brand Rougarou has a good chance of running the tables at 140. Josh, to me, probably is his best. But, Ramirez is going to bring a lot of noise if he fights. It's going to, how Ramirez fights. He throws a hell of a lot of punches. A hell of a lot. And I find it funny that Bob ain't want to throw Ramirez in this tournament. I wish Bob would have thrown him in there with the rest of these wolves, man. And then we really could have had a good position on how everybody looked. Regis style triumphant relic. Yeah, he did. Style-wise, it was too much speed, too much power, two better reflexes, the whole nine. Regis is looking like the truth, man. Real shit. Brown on Boxing says, I just wish the World Boxing Super Series was on NBC, Showtime, or Fox Sports 1. The coverage would be 3 to 4 times bigger than it is on the zone. I agree 100%, man. I wish somebody else would have put that money up to get this tournament, man. I agree with you 150% on that, Brown on Boxing. I hate the fact that it's on the zone. I hate the fact that it's on a platform that ain't really everybody got. A lot of people don't even know. You know what I mean? I hate that shit, bro. I really wish they could have put this on a primetime TV channel, man. Like you say, Fox, NBC, something like that. Maybe even ESPN. Something much better than DAZN. Because this tournament, especially the 140 tournament, deserves daylight. It deserves the most daylight. This is something we've been wanting, boxing fans. This is something we've been asking for. We've been asking for tournament-style boxing where the best is forced to fight the best. Well, here we have it. Unfortunately, a tournament like this can never come to welterweight, which I wish it could. I wish it could. Hit the like button for me when you're sliding on there. I wish this tournament could slide to welterweight. Slim, we wouldn't even be having these discussions that we having about people ducking and about people dodging and this person don't want to fight or the politics and the polish shit, blah, 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 blah. We wouldn't even be having that conversation. We'd just be up in this thing talking styles, talking about who the fastest, who got the best speed, who got the best power. That's what we'd be talking about. But clearly the welterweights are too big of divas. This is what Callie Sauerland and Richard Schaefer has said. We would love to do the welterweights, but it's just too much involved with the welterweight division. They would love to, do 160. Maybe it's be too hard to do that. But, man, this is what we've been asking for. So, man, I wish they did put this on a bigger platform, dog. And I love to see the welterweights get involved, man. Do y'all know the kind of fights we would have tournament style? Shit. Spence, Sean, Keith. You did. Throw Kell Brook in the mix if you want to. Shit, Danny, Manny. Man, all of these cats mixing it up in tournament style. Bro, man, boxing would be lit. Man, I wish we can get something like this at welterweight. I truly do. But unfortunately, the powers that be, everybody out here to make a buck, so it ain't gonna happen, Cap. Machiavelli Prince says we need to do a welterweight tournament. But I forgot to throw Bud in there. Bud will win that. Hey, that'll be interesting. I posed that question. I see what you say. If they did do the World Boxing Super Series at welterweight, You think Bud? Who y'all think come out on top? I'm sure I might see a lot of Spencers and I'm gonna see a lot of Buds. I'm already certain. You know what I mean? I'm already certain. That'll be interesting though. Hey, Slim, man, I wish a billionaire, like some billionaire, Warren Buffett or Robert Kraft, some billionaire, some rogue ass billionaire, you know what I'm saying? Could come out and say, you know what, man, I'm fronting the money for all of this and putting it on TV. I'm gonna pay these fighters X amount of dollars. We're gonna put a big prize in the championship with the Muhammad Ali trophy and a special type of belt. And I don't know what, $30 million. Man, everybody is sign up, son. Everybody, man. Harold Trim says, man, I enjoyed the collaboration with you and Black Fight Fan. It was like listening to my uncles argue when I was a tiny tot. Keep it up all day. All day. Respect the Black Fight Fan, and I appreciate what he did for this channel. That's my main man right there, dog. And if he ever in the DMV area, he'll be treated with royalty all day. You know what I mean? That's my man, son. He's fam. Brown on Boxing says 100 million for the winner. 100 million for the winner. You'll had a whole weight class trying to get in, son. The whole weight class. And man, imagine the debates that we will be having here on YouTube then. Shit, bro. Everybody be like, hey, and that's the type of debates I want to have. Not like, oh, well, this person is aligned with that, so they don't want to do business with this person. Oh, he can't pay this money. Oh, he's A side, he's B side, he's C side. We wouldn't even be talking about that. We'd be talking about Slim. We about to see who the best of the, like a Kumite or some shit. Kumite. And T-Bud to be Frank Dukes. You hear me? Earl Trent says, man, did you say hand job Robert Kraft? Hey, son, okay. It could be him. Hey, man, hey, stay up all. Hey, Robert was trying to get him a little piece. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I ain't mad at Robert. How the fuck you a billionaire, though, man, to get caught in the spot like that, though? Like, real talk, they can't come meet you somewhere. They can't come to your crib. You ain't got a beach house or something. You go to some little strip mall looking spot and you getting a little quick hand job. Man, I ain't understand that whole situation, man. You say Thurman got that? Thurman's the final level. I'm tripping, Rocket Strikes. You're right. Thurman is the final level. Thurman may win it. I don't know. You hit him good with the truth. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how you got to do, man. I'm gonna stand firm for T-Bud all day. He's the number 1 pound for pound fighter, and I'm a fan, man. I don't believe you base things off. You know, I know a lot of people, and I'm gonna have this conversation again in the near future. I'm gonna probably get on there with my homie Monty Brown TV. Shout out to Monty Brown TV. That's my main man. I seen this video he did earlier today, and when we go ahead, I'm gonna do a collab with him. Probably try to jump on this platform, and we're gonna have that conversation too. That's my main man, though. Anybody who hear the sound of my voice, go check out Monty Brown TV. That's the homie. Brown on Boxing says that's real talk, man. 147 got a lot of talent, a whole lot of talent, and I would love to see this tournament go to the 147 pound division. Real talk. So somebody asked me earlier in the chat, what did I feel about Porter versus Spence? Well, that's a good ass fight, first and foremost, you know. And now, aside from the whole talk that we had yesterday, Porter versus Spence is going to be a good fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be a real telling fight, because I believe that this, in my humble opinion, would be Spence's really, like I told somebody earlier, I believe that this is the fight right here where Earl can honestly finally walk away from a fight with no excuses, meaning that nobody can say nothing. I mean, in his previous wins, if you view them as what they were, big wins or whatever like that, they all had some sort of thing that people can use and say, well, you know, Kell Brook was broken, or well, Mikey was little, or well, Lamont Peterson was at the end of his career. There was always something that somebody can say. You know what I mean? As for Showtime Sean Porter, it comes with absolutely no excuses. This man is a champion. He's coming off some of the biggest wins of his career by beating Danny Garcia and Yordenis Ugas. Well, Ugas, some people thought Ugas beat him, but you know, but still, he's coming off some big fights. He's blowing through everybody. He's still in his prime. He's injury-free. Can't nobody say nothing. Nothing. If Earl go in there and wash Showtime Sean Porter and beat him, easy work. The conversation from everybody got to come with respect. And that's the best thing I think going on with this fight when it comes for Errol Spence Jr. and Showtime Sean Porter. It comes with absolutely no escape hatches. It comes with no off ramps. It's a straight road where you either got to give him respect or you just a hater. Period. And I think that is the honestly best thing about this upcoming fight. And that's aside from all the business shit. It's nobody that can say nothing. You dig? It's nobody that can say nothing. So stylistically, it's going to be interesting. It's going to answer even questions stylistically about Earl, because there's been even conversations that, there ain't been a lot of fighters that Earl has fought that can push him back. And well, Porter is definitely capable of such. So if it doesn't happen, that's going to tell you a lot. And this is why I'm really kind of, I'm hyped for this fight, because Slim, a lot of answers. I got more answers in the little Mike fight. I got some answers in that fight, seeing the different dimensions of Earl and his boxing ability. And I was like, damn. I mean, I was always told he was an Olympian and everything, but shit, he put this cat on the outside of the jab and just the man ain't know what to do. That's something I never saw before from Earl as a professional. So, okay, cool. I learned that. Now, in the Porter fight, it would just solidify that this man is who he says he is. No excuses. You feel me? Don Dada says Ugas versus Earl Spence Jr. would be a good duel. That'd be a good fight. I think Earl now is probably having second thoughts about. Ugas did himself a favor by putting that in that performance against Sean Porter, because Earl didn't want to fight him at first. Earl was like, "Nah, man, I'd rather face Jesse Vargas." Ugas who? Ugas what? Ugas what? Nah, forget him. Cuz go. And so Ugas removed himself out of IBF and went on over to the WBC. And because Earl thought that would allow him to face Jesse Vargas, until Jesse Vargas got on some I'm going to 154 talk. I don't know what's up with Jesse Vargas. Duck, duck, goose. Add him to the mini list of the IBF fighters with Konstantin Ponomariov in them. They got the fuck up out the way. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and he didn't fight Ugas. And so maybe now, after Ugas is giving that performance, which amongst a lot of us fans, some people actually think that Ugas beat Showtime Sean Porter. Maybe now this raises the respect level on Ugas' name, where people won't overlook him in that fashion. You know what I'm saying? That would be a good fight, though, son. That'd be a great fight. Sir Ken says, main man, salute Porter versus Spence. Good fight. I just want Porter to have a great camp. No trying to make the weight at the last second. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to have to cut a couple more braids. I don't know what he's going to have to do, son. He going to have to just cut the bush off in general. Keep walking around with that bush. I'm like, man, you don't cut that shit, man. Like, braid it up or something. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he going to have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But he better make weight, because this fight right here comes with no excuses. This is a fight that Porter... And look, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, for a lot of y'all who just got here, man. I used to give Porter hell on this channel. Hell for his ducking the Earl Spence Jr. I used to give him all hell. I started to realize what Keith was doing. But the rest of them, I was giving him hell. Danny Porter, all of I was like, y'all ain't gonna lock this man out. How the fuck is you gonna lock him out the clubhouse? Nah, let him in. Let him in the clubhouse, see if he could become the president. But they ain't want to let him in. And so I used to give Porter hell. And after Porter beat Ugas, I was, man, jumping and screaming on here like, you better get on the first thing smoking to Dallas. I didn't know he was going to wear that ugly ass suit looking like St. Patty's Day Porter. But I was like, you better get on the first thing smoking to Dallas, Holmes. And he did it. And so here we are. So nothing can stop this fight. I'm hoping. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping. Sweet Jones, Mikey came up 2 weight classes and still went 12 rounds. Spence is a joke. That don't mean nothing, bro. I truly believe that if Spence would have stopped fighting in the first half of the fight the way he fought in the second half of the fight, Mikey would have went good night. You know what I mean? But he chose to fight in the manner he chose to fight in. You know what I mean? I mean, can't knock out everybody, but he still dominated him. Dominations is just as impressive. You know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying, though. Boxing comments up, brother, main man. I think the IBF may force Earl to face their mandatory, being he fought Mikey and Lamont. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, bro. When the last time he fought a mandatory? Wasn't Ocampo was a mandatory. So he one fight removed from the Ocampo fight. And IBF don't be playing when it comes. No, unifications trumps mandatories. So you wouldn't have to worry about that, boxing comments. If he faces Showtime Sean Porter's a world champion. So I don't think the IBF would stop. They couldn't stop that because it's a unification fight. That's another thing that makes this thing beautiful. It comes with hashtag no excuses. I got the homie Black Horseman Promotions in the building. What's up, family? What's up with you, man? What's goody, man? We just chopping it up, man, on a good Sunday night show. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm glad I'm glad Showtime Sean Porter bossed up and he went to Dallas. He had no choice. I mean, his last fight was half empty. They say you can hear a pin drop up in that joint, and he needed this money. He needed this recognition. Well, guess what? He's doing the right thing. So now it's Earl time to step up, and I believe that Earl will do it. Listen to all the interviews and listen to all the talks. It seems to me that's the direction that we headed in, man. You know what I mean? And I hope it happens. I hope it happens. If it doesn't happen, we're going to be looking to see what's the actual reason why. We're going to know what the hell going on. You know what I mean? Real shit. Macadon one says, Mikey only moved up one weight class. He was a champ at 140. We already had this discussion, homie. His last fight was at 35. Yeah, he was a champ at 140, but that was the fight before he went to 35 and won the title. So if he drops down to 135 and then comes back up to 147, that's coming up 2 classes. I understand with your point. I've had this discussion with many people, but at the end of the day, son, that dude came from 35. He came back to 40 and then he went down to 35, but then he left from 35 and went back up to 47. You got to go by the last class he fought at. He didn't fight at 140 last. He fought at 35 last. So that's the one you got to go with. You know what I'm saying? Earl Trim, come on, man. I know you had that Lucky Charms green suit in your closet way in the back. Man, that joint was awful, bro. Hey, that joint was terrible, man. I was like, he was the only dumbass up on that joint with a green suit on. You know what I mean? Even the cats that came that's probably celebrate St. Patty's Day ain't have a green. He was the only cat with a green suit on. And somebody called him out. Who was that? One of the commentators said, I never seen a black Irishman before. Straight to his face, huh? I lie to you not, man. I remember when that went down that night and somebody told him that straight to his face. And I was like, damn. And he go, Porter, I'm like, Porter, you look dumb as shit. You know what I mean? I thought the fight was done already. I ain't hear nothing. I heard the WB. What was it? I seen the tweet, but dog, it ain't official. I heard it's going to happen, but no date, no venue's been given, and we know how we is with date and venue. I need to hear the whole 9. I need them to say Porter versus Spence on July 15th at the Barclays Center. You know, all we heard is some boxing insiders come out. Like I was talking with Black Fight Fan, and I told him Michael Coppinger came out and he said that it's going down in July, and unlikely on pay-per-view at the Barclays Center and all of this other jazz. You know what I'm saying? So it's not official. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Boxing Fan 1000 in the super chat. Much love, homie. Keep grinding, player. All day, man. I appreciate that support and I appreciate all that, man. Real talk. Tone Toledo 1965 says Porter was talking Mikey 3 days ago. Man, Porter better not, bro. He better not. He can't. His career will be just shredded down by everybody, man. Shredded down by everybody. Real talk, bro. He wouldn't be able to take the wrath of us fans if we find out he's trying to fight Mikey Garcia at all. You know what I'm saying? Cats like myself, cats like Black Horseman, we will hold Sean Porter's feet to the fire if he ducks out of this situation. He don't have no room to duck. He ain't got no room to duck. You know what I mean? The walls are closing in on Sean Porter. He got to make this unification happen like now. You know what I mean? This better get made, fam. All day, Black. That's what I'm saying, Holmes. And we bringing fire to whoever we find out backs out of this situation. It's going down like that because we've been waiting too damn long. Both sides. You know what I mean? We've been waiting too damn long. Nobody don't got no inch to back out of this fight. We ready. You dig? We ready, man. We want to see it, and we want to see it now. You know what I mean? Lorenzo Lewis says, name me one time he ain't try to dress like Andre 3000. Hey, Porter, who told him? His suits, man, be off some other shit sometimes, man. I don't know, Mo. I don't know. Don Dada says that Black Horseman, that music video was great. Salute. Hey, my man be cranking. Some be cranking. Hey, Black Horseman, we gonna fuck around, have to collab on something, son. You know, I get down with that too. Tenderoni, well, in the interview, Spence said that he slimmed down for a fight in September when the interviewer said he looks skinny. You know, I seen that, Tenderoni, and I know it kind of flew over a lot of people's heads when he said that. He kind of mentioned September, and I was like, September? Is it September? Is it July? I mean, what we hearing here? We hearing all of these mixed reports now. So I don't know. Look, bro, I don't care when it happens, long as it happens. If they say it ain't happening in July, it's happening in September, cool with me. You know what I'm saying? If they say it's happening in July, cool. That was the initial reports, cool with me. You know, I don't know. Maybe they don't want to do it at the same time as if Keith Thurman go and faces Manny Pacquiao. That could be an impediment for that fight. I mean, because if they putting that on pay-per-view, well, then again, we've already said it's unlikely going to be on pay-per-view between these two. So I don't know. Maybe they just don't want each of those two fights so close to one another to take shine off of each other. That's the only thing I can suggest. We initially heard July, but that was prior to them announcing Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao. So that could if that happens, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why Earl said it's on for September. Okay, Brown on Boxing says September all day. I can live with that. 704 Joe says, I'm thinking September. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell y'all like this, man. If it go down in September, I definitely don't see them putting it on pay-per-view. I definitely don't see it happening on pay-per-view. Maybe they'll probably put it right before or right after a big football match. I don't know. But, you know, that's Canelo month right there, man. Like, Canelo going to try to take the pay-per-view heavy on that. And if they do a Canelo Golovkin, nah, I don't see it. I don't see that happening on pay-per-view at all. You know what I mean? T-Bone Toledo 1965 says majority of boxing fans want Spence Crawford, and that's the real all day. I mean, a lot of people want that. A lot of people want Crawford versus any of them because he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. And how can people reject that? I have no idea. I understand Bob. We're talking Bob, blah, blah, blah. But he's still the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. The accolades that come with beating a T-Bud is huge. But at the end of the day, I still take fights with the final level. And we all know who the final level is, Mr. Shao Kahn himself, a.k.a. M. Bison, a.k.a. Shang Tsung, a.k.a. Flute Time Thurman. He is the final level. Maybe they take him on after the Manny situation is over. Who knows? I just want to see them all fight at the end of the day. I want to see them all fight. I don't want to hear about no politics crap. I don't want to hear no businessman shit. You did. I wanted to see the fights. Let them all mix it up with no bullshit. That's all we ask at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Odie Loke in the building. What's up, homie? What's good with you? What's good with you? Sir Ken says it is September. Manny and Keith fighting in July. See, that's what I thought. That's the only thing. Like I said, if Earl and Sean gonna do it, and if Earl and Sean gonna do it in September, then yeah, man, I think that's gonna be the reason, because Manny and Keith is in July, and that's hands down gonna be a pay-per-view, without a doubt, gonna be on pay-per-view. So that could be the reason. I don't think it's stalling. I don't think it's bull. I'm in the position right now to say I believe that both men want the fight. From the last I've seen and heard of both fighters, Sean Porter and Earl Spence both want the fight. I have no reason to believe otherwise. So let's not hear. We don't want to hear any crap. You don't want to hear no bullshit. September, Thurman and Pack in July. That's why all day Macadon won. Okay, cool. Tenderoni says, what's the word on Jamel versus Tony rematch in June? He hinted at it. It's on his IG. It's supposed to be coming up. I'm looking forward to that fight because I want the winner of that fight to see my main man, Jerry Swift Hurd, a.k.a. the real champ, a.k.a. he should be in your top 5 pound for pound, a.k.a. Storm coming. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag all day. So, you know, I want to see the winner of that fight take on my main man, Jerry Swift Hurd, so he can go and get that belt up off whoever too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Last I heard, it's still going on, man. It's still going on. I hope Jamel learned the lesson. Shout out to the homie ILTBA. I was listening to him talk on my homie Black Horseman promotion stream earlier, and he was still going back to that same thing that we used to talk about is, has Jamel Charlo changed? You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, we all thought that Jamel Charlo was the best version of himself when he was with Ronnie Shields, and I still stand by that. And mentally, Jamel Charlo got to understand, got to be much more patient, got to be much more humble. He can't go in there trying to knock everybody's head off. And if he go in there with that same mentality like he did in the first fight, like he did in the Austin Trout fight, he gonna get a rude awakening. So we'll see if Jamel Charlo has changed, didn't he? I hope he has, because I still want to see him versus Hurd all day. You know what I'm saying? I still want to see him versus Hurd all day. Tenderoni, I wonder how fans will react if Thurman beats Pac. Look, man, if Thurman beats Pac, the conversation gonna move forward. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna tell y'all straight right here, right now. If Thurman beats Pac, he is solidifying his number one position at welterweight. Why do I say that? Because guess what? Thurman then at this point will have Danny, Sean, and Pacquiao under his belt, and then nobody at welterweight will have surpassed that. Nobody. If Earl go on and beat Sean, okay, that adds him to a real top position, maybe the number 2 guy at welterweight. But it's still, at the end of the day, Thurman has the best accomplishments at welterweight. Earl on his heels. If he beat Sean, he definitely on his heels. That position is right for the taking at that point, without a doubt. But Thurman ups the score if he beats Manny. That's the whole name of the game. You know what I'm saying? He ups the score one to the next level if he beats that man. So, I mean, we'll see, bro. Especially if he do it in impressive fashion, as I'm expecting him to do. You know what I'm saying? Odie Loke Sports says, do you think Porter got a chance against Spence because everybody just counting him out? I think he got a chance. I think he got a chance. And that's why I say, if you say that Porter doesn't have a chance, I believe at that point you're robbing Earl Spence of his glory. And I ain't going to do that. I think Porter has a chance. I think Porter has a damn good chance. He's an aggressive fighter who can turn it on, turn it off. Not nearly as good as a boxer as he think he is. But I believe that his natural style that comes natural to him, it can give anybody problems at welterweight. Anybody. As long as he doesn't smother his work, as long as he realizes that maybe, you know, I can switch it up mid-fight, maybe try to confuse him and throw him off like he did against Danny Garcia. He got tools that he can be very successful in there with Earl Spence. But it will force Earl Spence Jr. to raise his game. A lot of people got this notion that Sean Porter is going to come to Spence. He's going to come right and walk right into the trap known as the body work of Earl Spence Jr., which is possible. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to see how Spence going to take this aggressive, you know, fullback version of Sean Porter. Can he handle it? If he can, we got to see. We got to see. That's why I say this fight comes with no excuses, bro. This fight comes with no excuses. Black Horseman's Promotion says Hurd is higher on the pound for pound, is higher than Spence on the pound for pound list without a doubt. In my opinion, yeah. Man's a unified champion. Unified champion on top of that beat the current WBC champion. I mean, no one can argue with that. Nobody can argue with that. Unified champion, beat the current WBC champion, and beat basically anybody worth mentioning. The guy who was the guy at the weight class, who was Arislandi Law for a long time, beat him. Spence hasn't done anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I look at ESPN and I laugh, bro. I laugh. Last of a dime breed, what's up with you? Porter looking for a come up. He could. Hold on, my bad. Screen flicked on me. Porter looking for a come up. He could have fucked this fight before. He could have took this fight before Mikey. Yeah, he could have took this fight a long time ago. That's when they was trying to play keep away from Spence. And that's why we used to ride on Porter. So we used to ride heavy on this channel on Sean Porter. Like, what the hell, bruh? All of them. Him, Danny, all of them. Keith. Until I realized what Keith was doing. And to all of my newbies here, because I know I got a lot of the LDBC members in the building. Let me just tell y'all my position on something. My position on Keith Thurman and Earl Spence and the rest of the welterweights for that matter is Keith Thurman put his work in. He beat the number 1, number 2 guy that was rated under him, right? He needs a dance partner for a super fight. Every Floyd needs a Manny, every Yang needs a Yang, every Batman needs a Joker. And when people are perceiving it as him fearing Earl Spence Jr., I don't see it that way. I see it that he respects Earl Spence Jr. and he expects Earl Spence Jr. to become who he say he is. And so he's sitting back waiting for that right moment to make that happen. It could be a cash out fight. It could be it for him. I don't know. It's the final level. It's the top of the mountain. And Keith Thurman sits at the top of the mountain with a gold flute. So that's what I'm telling you. You know, I think that he looks at Earl and says, well, guess what? I think you're going to be the one, young boy. I think it's going to be you. So here's the belt. Boom. Let me toss that in the mix. Take the WBC. Go get it. Go get it. Do what you got to do to get it. Beat these cats. And when you do, I'll be at the top floor like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the game of death, and I'll be waiting on you. You dig? And that's what I believe is going on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. Earl versus Porter on Fox after one their major college football games to guarantee 10 to 12 million eyes on that fight. Yeah, it could be. You know what? That's a point that your man, don't tell him I said this, but that's something that Black Fight fans should have brought up last night on the Lowski. But I'm going to leave it at that. That could be great marketing. That could be great strategy. You know, man, he could have brought that up, man. I'd have been like, you know what? Good point. You might be right. Odie Loke Sports Info. If Thurman beats Pacquiao, he's going to do the same thing Spence doing to Crawford. Start talking that A-side, B-side nonsense. If Thurman beats Pacquiao, you know what? That's going to be maybe. I don't know. You might be right. You might be right. But I tell you one thing. Much love as I got for the final level. Much love as I got for the big hand of boxing. Keith One Time Thurman. Much respect as I got for him or whatever. If Earl beat Sean and Danny and take out Sean, Danny, and but I say if he beats Terrence, all of it shut down. It's all shut down. Ain't nothing to talk about. Earl is hands down number 150. We ain't talking 50 nothing. You did, and I think Thurman would concede that. But if Thurman does beat Pacquiao, Odilo, you may got a good point, bro. You might got a good point. I would hope Thurman would realize how much money would be involved in that fight and say, you know what, we can do it fair. We can do it fair. It's enough for all of us to eat. Me and you have basically put in the most work at this weight class. We both got belts. We both got accolades. Let it be. I will hope. Keep our fingers crossed on that, man. Renee Box Young, man, and we talking boxing, man. You know it. You know it. Macadon One says Porter is not an easy fight. Absolutely not. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm not going to take them accolades away. I'm not going to take them accolades away. Black Horseman Gold Flute Promotions all day. He at the top of the mountain with that joint, son. But yeah, I don't think so either, man. I don't think that Sean Porter is an easy fight for nobody, including Earl Spence Jr. And if he does make it an easy fight, then this kid is better than I thought he was. It's as simple as that. If he does go in there, because even when Keith beat him, Keith ain't beat him easy. It took Keith to pull out a lot of tools in that fight to pull that win off against Sean Porter. So if Earl go in there and destroys Sean, this man is definitely better than I thought he was. He's better than I thought he was. Real shit. Brown on Boxing says, tell Keith to get his ass in the ring with Spence. Man, look, Keith is waiting on Spence, bro. He's waiting on him. He waiting on him. What did he tell him? I'm right. I'll be waiting on you. If he is as good as you say you are, I'm up here. I'm waiting on you. Keith sees himself as like the Alibaba of the welterweight division. You know, Keith sees himself as the guy that put in the work, and he wants someone else to put the work in to meet him there. And then do y'all not understand? Let me tell y'all something, man. Do y'all not realize that if Earl goes on to beat Sean and maybe grab a Danny or a Terrence, and he meets Keith in the final fight, in the final fucking fight, like this is Fist of Fury or something, like this is Bolo versus Van Damme. Do you not know the conversations that we will have here on this platform? Do you not know what this would do for the sport? This is how you build super fights. This is how you get super fights. The man needs someone that he perceives to be on his level. You know, so I mean, I wasn't even really all the way convinced when Keith was saying that he was coming back to face Porter and get his old belt in the whole nine. I wasn't convinced because I know he wants Earl, but he wants him when the time is right. And he believes that he can get him when the time is right. Trust me when I tell y'all that. Y'all gonna be so happy that Keith plan came to fruition. Or something like that. Lion Bar in the building. What's up with you? Keith Flute. Keith Thurman is the Pied Piper. Go ahead, man. Keith gonna trade the flute in for a sax. I'm telling you, I've been emailing them all this shit. Take the flute away and add a sax. Add some soul to your shit. You dig what I'm saying? Drop the ponytail, grow a bush. Come out this thing looking like Kaepernick. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen, man. I'm telling y'all. David Chacon says Canelo versus Spence Jr. What do you think? I think that's a fantasy fight, and it has no chance of ever happening, and it shouldn't happen. There's weight classes for a reason. Have we not learned from history? There are weight classes for a reason, man. Look at Lil Mike. Look at what happened to Kell Brook. Kell Brook walking around boxing now looking like the T-1000. You know what I mean? It's just there's weight classes for a reason. And if Earl is not ready to move up, like everybody trying to force him to go to 54 and 4, dog, he got work to do at 47. And clearly you see him at the fight at last night. Looked like he keeping his weight down. Look like he keeping his weight down. Look at Adrian Brown. Y'all see AB? AB looking like he in shape for a change. You know what I mean? About damn time. You know what I'm saying? Looking like he's staying in shape between fights. So they're weight classes for a reason. I think Kareem was on the third red floor. T-Tone Toledo. Kareem was on the top, remember? He kicked Bruce Lee in the chest, and he had the big shoe print on Bruce Lee's chest. He was the final level. I thought he was Kareem was, because remember, Bruce had to kick the windows open, and the sun was start blinding him, and that's how he started to beat up on Kareem. Kareem was on the final level, bruh. Keith is Kareem. You know what I'm saying? That's what Keith is, man. So, yeah, man. That's how it went down. Renee Box Young says, speaking of Porter, I did a live the other day explaining Porter will be a challenge for Spence. Renee Box Young, I'm gonna check out your live streams and see how you wrapping it up. You know what I'm saying? Because you support me, I definitely will support you. Expect for me to be tuning in into your live streams the next time you hold one. You know what I mean? But you said you did a live the other day explaining how Porter will be a challenge for Spence. Yeah, it would be a challenge for Spence. He would be a challenge for Spence all day. Brown on boxing. If Earl and Keith win their next fight, it's no other fight for them. It's nothing left for them. I agree with you. If Earl and Keith win their next fights, the only other fight that will make sense is T-Bud, the number one pound for pound fighter in boxing. He would make sense. It would make sense if Earl was to go to T-Bud after that and try to say, hey, 60-40, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, if Earl beats Sean, I don't think there'll be such an appetite for Earl to get in there with Danny. You know what I'm saying? I think the Danny fight can be overlooked by a lot of fans and say, well, we didn't now see him beat Sean. We ready for Keith. The question is does the final level, will he think that Earl has done enough or Earl is worthy? That's the question. You know, I think it'd be right by then. I think at that point it won't be able to get no bigger. If Earl beats Sean, Keith beats Manny, it might not be able to get no bigger than at that moment. That might be just the moment. Truth be told, that might just be the moment. Now that I think about it, because I don't see nobody having an appetite like that to say, oh, now we want to see Earl face Danny. The only other fight that people may call for is Earl and Terrence. Outside of that, I think that fight right there will be baked. I mean, fully baked. I mean, baked. I mean, you can drink a ginger ale with that joint. It'd be so baked. You know what I mean? Real shit. Macadon One says, you mean when the money is right for Thurman? When the money is right, well, that's what makes it. That's definitely included. That's definitely included. And you know, we've learned years from the Godfather, you know, Mr. Rob Arum. We've learned years from him that one point he does have it. We hate to see the marination of fights. We do. I hate that shit. I hate it with a passion. But sometimes when you strike when the iron's hot at just the right time, you can maximize. And after these next set of fights for these two fighters, man, the money level is going to be up there, bro. Up there, because everybody going to want to see it. Everybody. Lewis Coleman in the building. What's up, fam? Everybody going to want to see it. Everybody. Real talk. Nelson Santos in the building. What's up, homie? Man. Salute to the number one pound for pound boxing stream on YouTube all day, family. Appreciate that love. I appreciate that love. Macadon One says, I think Bud is the goods, man. I love Spence, but it's a toss-up because I like both guys. I mean, 50-50 fight as of to me right now, you know. But I mean, well, I need this. I'm going to tell you like this, Macadon One, and this is why I'm really looking forward to this Sean Porter fight, because I'm telling you, man, right at that point, Slim, I'm gonna be looking at Earl as a new kind fighter. I'm really am, man. I'm gonna look at Earl as everything that he says he is. My true test. He's been through a lot of tests, and I don't know if y'all find it fair or unfair, but my true test would be Sean Porter, because that fight comes with no excuses. It's the first one. If you believe Brook I went out, if you believe Mike was too small, if you believe that Lamont was at the end of the rope, well, at this point with this fight, you have nothing. You got nothing. So I don't know. I want to really fully judge it after that fight, so I can sit back and say I've seen now everything that Earl Spence brings to the table, and I think this cat is the real deal. That's when I can sit back and comfortable in my own skin and say, you know what? I can't argue no more. Keith, you got to do it. It's no more. It's nothing else to prove. There's nothing else. Keith, you got to do it. And I think Keith will sit back at that time and he will hear the calls from main man, made man in the final level, and the clouds will part and the waters will start to rise and the horses will look up to the sky and they will see the return of Keith one-time Thurman with a gold flute in his hand, looking triumphantly. All right, Renee Box Young says, thanks for the support, big man, all day. And I definitely will be checking you out. Expect that. Expect me to be popping up in your comment section. You know what I mean? All day. Get the likes up for the homie all day. You know what I'm saying? Hawk, smash that like button for me, like my man Lewis Coleman said, man. All day, man. All day. Brown unboxing. How about Canelo versus Charlo, Herd, Lord, Boo Boo, Plant, or Bud? That's a lot of fucking names, dog. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo right now, as far as the Daniel Jacobs fight is concerned, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm leaning towards Canelo mainly because how Jacobs fights against aggressive fighters, and I believe that Canelo has the ability to become a very, very good aggressive fighter. His ring cutting off abilities are solid. Everybody I've seen Daniel Jacobs get in there and struggle with has always been aggressive, effective aggression. From Pirog to his fights with even Gennady Golovkin, like aggressive fighters. Even in the Deryevchenko fight, when Deryevchenko had successes, it was because he was coming forward being effective. So I believe that Canelo Alvarez has that ability and then some. So we'll see. But as we get closer to that fight, we'll definitely break it down. Nelson Santos says, man, I honestly think Porter's style gives anyone problems, even Earl Spence. And I agree. We'll see. I don't know about problems, but the only thing I want to say about that is we'll see. We'll see. I will be watching every second of that fight. Slim, I will have 3D glasses on for that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, I will really be evaluating Earl on this level. I did it on the Kell Brook fight. And I got to admit, that fight to me came with excuses. And I can sit back and say, yo, I think Kell's eye went out. But I need to, this is the first fight of all of Earl Spence Jr.'s fights that I will sit and say after the fight, if he eliminates Showtime Sean Porter, easy work. If he does this, I will sit back and I will have nothing to say other than give this man his respect. Final level, you got to see this man ASAP. And I will be on Keith Thurman's top like, son, you got this. Every other video calling for it. Nelson Santos in the super chat. Much love, homie. Much love. Just because, man. Just because. Thank you for the awesome content all day, Nelson. I appreciate your support. And Nelson, you will be getting a blue suit all day. You know what I mean? Because you have been supporting me. You've been riding with me for a while, and you always big it up, man. Much love to you. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Matter of fact, we're going to do that right now. Nelson Santos, consider yourself part of the blue suit crew. You know what I'm saying? You get that blue suit and you get the blue suit with the strap, man. You do what you got to do if you see a troll up in this joint. We don't have that. You hear me? Sir Jacob says Kell Brook was whipping his ass for the first 5 rounds. For the first 5 rounds, it was a close fight. Yeah, it was a good fight. And I thought Kell was up to the eye went. And that's the excuse that's built in. So cats like myself who need to be shut the fuck up. Oh, man, okay, now what, man? Now what? You did? Now what you got to say? He didn't beat Sean Porter. Now what? I can't say nothing. All I can sit back and say is this man ain't nothing but the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's what I got to say. So we got to look forward to this fight, and we got to push hard for this fight, and we cannot allow neither side to back up because we're too damn close. I don't care if it's in July. I don't care if it's in September. You're not going to hear me beating that drum. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see it, and I want to know that it's happening. That's it, and that's all. So all indications as of today pointing to the fact that it is happening, and that's all I need to know. Black Ham TV, what's up with you? What's up with you? Peace to the chat. Peace to you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Sir Jacob of Tone Toledo, 1965. If Canelo beats Jacobs, will the rest of the boxing community say pound for pound? Everybody already saying pound for pound. They're just not giving him number one because that goes to T-Book. I mean, there's my reasons that I don't give Canelo pound for pound number one. It's because he fights at Canelo weights. And to me, that's not a pound for pound situation. You can't have certain built-in advantages that other fighters can't have and expect to be called the number one pound for pound fighter. That's something you just can't have. You dig? You got to do what everybody else is doing. And that's fighting at a proper weight class and dominating that weight class. You dig? And that's why I never give him number one pound for pound. But he's done a lot of good things in the sport. Fucking with that meat, though. You better stay away from that Mexican meat, though, all day. Don Dada, share the video. Share the video for the homie like Don Dada just said, man, all day, man. All day, So look here, man. I'm gonna leave it at that because it's getting late, and but the boy got things to do also early in the morning. Much love to the chat, much love to all the fam. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, do your boy a favor and hit the like button on the way out. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Everybody that signed up this week, much love to you. Much love once again, and I will always double salute the homie Black Fight Fan TV. For anybody who don't know about him or want to see him, check out Trail Boxing Talk. They come on every morning, 10:30 a.m., where they bring the real, they bring the raw. Shout out to 78 Sports TV also. Everybody that tuned in tonight, much love. Appreciate you riding with me. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button. We here every Sunday, every Wednesday. Look out for the videos. Whatever good boxing news breaking this week, I do vids on them shits. And check me out every Sunday, every Wednesday. The more that we get closer to these fights, the better that the conversation's going to get. More debates coming in the future. Salute to everybody. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Check out the homie Boxing Forum. I got a lot of fam in there. And also Instagram, Main Man, Made Man. Much love to everybody. Y'all have a good week this week, man. Don't let that supervisor get on your damn nerves. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, man, hit him in the head with a donut or something. You know what I'm saying? All day. To the next video. Peace out.